I'm out here seeing things. I'm at the Yorkstrasse underground stop on that's the U7. So just kind of hopped out here, a little bit under construction, a little rough. There's a public toilet here that's seen better days. So take a look at that. Normally these things are a bit automated and they're pretty clean, but this has been hit by a bomb. Somebody's sheltering in here. It's a disaster. So I don't know what happened there. Yeah, some interesting shows coming. Actually, not really. There's nothing there I want to see. Oh, this is a nice water fountain. I think I'll take a drink here. It's new. Not sure how to approach it. I needed that. Anyway, part of the reason I wanted to start there is just so you could see how close this cemetery is to that Yorkstrasse station. Basically hop out and within 5 minutes or so you're at the cemetery. And of course behind me, it's a major street, it's noisy, but just a few minutes walk down here and it's going to just get much more peaceful. It's a nice little neighborhood. Getting close to Gleisdreieck Park, actually at the southern tip of it, which is an interesting park in and of itself, and maybe I'll do some filming there afterwards and just show you that park and what that's all about. But for now, we're hopping into the cemetery, whose name I cannot remember. It's something like St. Mark's Church, something like that. See these orange trucks, general trash pickup, with the orange bins on the street all over the place. Sometimes the orange bins are a disaster. People abuse them. Of course, graffiti everywhere here. So the orange bins are no exception. They get graffitied, and then of course around New Year's they get sometimes blown up. So that's a big fireworks time. So you can see this orange bin, see what I'm talking about here? So, here we go. This actually runs, the tracks run adjacent to this cemetery. So I'm actually heading back towards the tracks of where the Yorkstrasse line is, which is the S1. The S1 is really like the first inner city rail running north to south through the city. It was disrupted, of course, by the Berlin Wall. There were ghost stations there where, because you're crossing from east to west, so if you were on the east, you could only travel to stations in the east, and similarly if you're in the west, you could only travel to stations in the west. So yeah, that little overhead there, that little overpass is the rail line, is the S1. That's how close we are. And quite often I've found outside European cemeteries, you'll have the gravestone maker as well as flower sellers. Though I don't see any flower seller here, but that's quite common. And there happens to be a bike path here. And a very nice, interesting looking park with some kind of a climbing rope cage. That looks pretty damn cool. If I was a kid, I would be interested in that. Looks like you can exercise in there, do pull-ups, what have you. So, beautiful late spring day. Mid-spring, really. St. Matthias, not St. Mark's. So I see the main gate here, and an interesting kind of onion dome church building inside the grounds. Alter Sankt Matthäus-Kirchhof, 1856. Beautiful cemetery, actually. My x-axis is not cooperating, keeps locking up. So you can hear the train going by, how close we are. I've been here a few times. This is a normal cemetery with current graves in it. But there's also historic graves in here, and as you've probably seen by the title, the brothers Grimm are up here, and that's who I'm going to see for the benefit of the video. And that's the main attraction. Though there are other folks up here, I just don't happen to know who they are. So we'll check out some other graves, and maybe you can Google them. Because there's a lot of 19th century graves as we go up the hill here. So they've got these interesting crypts along the wall, the Erdmann family, and this really interesting kind of bronze sarcophagus looking thing that seems to be, maybe it belongs down there and they're restoring it. But it's raised right now. And there's a lot of these along the wall. Paul Paris, Louise Paris, 1898. It's a tomb. Hermann. A nice old style font. 1897. And we're just kind of going up the hill here. See all of these crypts along the wall. Again, this is a cemetery where it's one way in and one way out. It's quite the statue. Missing an arm. Schroeder family. I'm getting attacked by bugs as well. It's warm enough today. It's going to be near 80 today, which is a little warm for this time of year. Schindler, Hugo Schindler, not to be confused with Schindler's List, that's possible, but he was in Krakow, Poland Napoleon Seyfarth. Okay, so it's been a little while, and I thought the Grimm brothers were up here, but I'm a little too far east. They're on the other side of this wall, I believe, or let's see. Siemens, I have seen the main Siemens grave, which has a beautiful kind of Art Deco angel on it. That's in another cemetery entirely, which I'll probably hit because it has Mendelssohn, the composer, in it, and it has the Siemens family, Kaiser Wilhelm II. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there, but it's interesting looking. And there's some pretty distinctive, even newer graves in here, newer stones. Like this white one up here. What's going on with that? No idea. But yeah, you've got these kind of crypts in the wall, in the stone wall around the entire perimeter. And here we go. Now I'm coming up to the Brothers Grimm. I'll just show you from here. Just get a look at this place. So there's a little chapel here, a little stone chapel, a little fenced in area. We'll go check that out in a minute, but another path, kind of a wall in the middle, and I'm basically behind the Brothers Grimm over here. It's these stones here. Okay, and here they are. Wilhelm and Jakob Grimm, 1785, 1786. to 1859, 1863, so they lived to be in their 70s. And then you've got their parents, Rudolf, or let's see, hard to say. Could be a father, 1830, yeah. Well, Rudolf and Hermann. I don't see any mother here. August, there we go. August Grimm, 1832 to 1919. Henrietta Dorothea, 1793 to 1867. Gisela. Albertine. So all the women seem to be on the left here. And then you've got the various husbands and sons. Hermann, Rudolf, Wilhelm, and Jakob. And there they are. So just some regular stones here, although when you see that thing, then you know it's kind of that the city has acknowledged this as an historic grave. And let's just see. You can see these chapels again. There's something else over here. It's all in German though. Bildhauer. I'm not sure. I guess that's just a grave. It's just kind of an arched modern stone. Let's see what's going on with this family crypt here. This is all kind of gated. And it says Family von Hansemann. I don't know. It's a little washed out in the sun there. I don't know who they are. Oh, Deutsche Bank. So the founders of Deutsche Bank, I guess. They have an elaborate crypt here. Iron doors, stone columns, all kinds of Huntsman family members here. And a central crypt for David Hansemann. Something about being a director. So that is elaborate and quite beautiful. Another nice, interesting crypt here. Family Mitzerlich. Well, I guess up here on the hill are prominent graves. This is the place to be in here. This is interesting. Just get a look at this beautiful cross in the middle of the lane. But Hell's Angels of Berlin, that's a little odd. 1965 to 2015, Angels Never Die. Okay, that's a person. Ingo, I guess, or I don't know, I have to look at the other side. That's just I thought it was a general grave for the Hells Angels. It's just an individual member. Check this thing out. I gotta turn around. Holy cow, I don't think I saw this before. Now this is a proper grave. Antonio de Andreas Gaon, 61 to 2012. Check out that skull. That's something else. Quite nice here in the shade. Wilhelm Kaiser, 1896 to 77. Louise Kirchhoff, 1920 to 2012. Don't know who they are, but it's a beautiful kind of stained glass cathedral window looking, not stained obviously, but frosted in this case. But you know, the whole motif looks like a cathedral window. Very nice. Another one that is marked by the city. Bernard, I'm very slowly coming around here. Bernard von Langenbeck. Not sure, can't read the German there. There's a little extra plaque down here. Professor, art, maybe an art professor. 1810 to 1887. Another professor, Friedrich Theodor von Freiks, 1819 to 1885. There's a nice bust. Adolf Diesterweg, 1790 to 1866. Unser Fred Unser, I'm not sure. There's some interesting shaped stones here. It has a kind of a primitive look to it. Another family crypt here. A nice copper patina. Family, looks like Hatch, H-A-T-S-C-H. An interesting stone. Someone with a Western style hat on a cross. Some pilgrim, I'm not sure who that's supposed to represent exactly. More stone wall graves, and you can see, you know, essentially the building is right up against the stone wall. memorials. That can happen too. It's an interesting one with a red top of some kind. Hedwig Dome. Schriftstellerin, 1831 to 1919. I'm not sure what that red ribbon is at the top. It's some kind of a stone cap. Beautiful. Let's get a closer look at that. That's glass, maybe, with these ribbons of color in it. Interesting. That's different. But wooden stones, those may be temporary kinds of markers here. Got this one here. This is nice. Somebody has a picture of themselves with their kitty, beloved kitty. Michael Schlinkve, Ute Klein, 1956, 1958. One died in 2019. Ute Klein died in 2019. Another professor. Gender and diversity. Gustav Hartmann, 1835 to 1888, with his profile in relief. Another director, Dankbarer Verung. Maybe another bank director, I'm not sure. Dankbarer. Unvergesslichen. Nope, I don't know these words. But one could look it up. It's kind of a wooden anchor. This looks like this might be children over here. All these pinwheels and such. Yeah, these are children. I'm seeing birth and death dates within the same year. I made a little wooden anchor and wooden ship looking sculpture. And we're back behind the brothers Grimm over here on the right. Let's maybe just head down the hill next to them. There they are again. Matthias Schleicher, 1830 to 1872. of back and forth here because there's stuff to my left and stuff to my right. Shemionic. That's a beautiful relief. Looks Grecian. Carl von Hagens, Clara Hagens. Another beautiful relief. This is beautiful. Some modernistic looking stones here. Recent graves. The Summers. Herbert Bormann. Very modernist. I like that. Otto Lorenz. Another nice relief. 1896, 1838 to 1896. Beautiful. Another modernist. Klaus Korch Bildhauer. 2019, Katharina Korch 21. These are the recent graves, or this is just how they do it with the kind of garden that you can put. Dorothea Mahler. Looks like died in 1925. Is in relation to Gustav. Hans Georg Bertram has some musical notes. And Leonid Kruglov. Died in 2005. Has a cool, interesting grave. Joachim Schroeder, who died in 2016, has this really interesting hole in the stone that's kind of highlighted in gold, really beautiful as the sun hits it. That's something else. Really looks lit up. That's a great idea. Never seen that before. A lot of bugs, a lot of insects here. Nice old stone here. Big. The Warbeck's. There's an interesting harp motif. Gustav Bork, 1815 to 1863. Kommerzienrat, some kind of businessman. Commerce. time reading that one. Greciano, Rashigu, not sure who he was. Looks like an athlete. Oh, boxer. He's got boxing gloves up top, of course. Maybe somebody knows. 1963 to 2018. Martin Brenner has an interesting modernist motif going on here with this stack of colored squares. And on a wolf behind him has an interesting stone. There's just a lot of interesting stones here. Unique. Look at this one, the fish and the stars and the moon. It's a child's grave, November 18th to 27th, 2006, so only 9 days old. But quite a beautiful tribute. I see another person in profile up on the hill. Just going to go check him out. Rudolf Virchow. Gneist. That'd be worth looking up. It's got the city plaque on there. Interesting profile. Looks like he might be wearing a hat of some kind. 1816 to 1895. Rechtsgärtner und Politiker. Some kind of politician. Maybe an old mayor. Who knows? Just like Otto Champhausen here, Staatsminister. Finance Minister. Quite a few of these relief stones with the person in profile. Now these are historic places. Okay, here we go. Rudolf Virchow, the famous doctor from Charité Hospital. There's the Virchow Clinic, or Virchow. Rudolph and Rose, 1821 to 1902. Yeah. I forget what he discovered. It says pathology, history, social, political. But one could definitely Google him. He's certainly got a Wikipedia page. We'll get all kinds here. Karl Mayer. I'm not sure who he is. Let's just see. Arts. Might have been a doctor. ARZT. Dr. Meyer. Yeah, Dr. Karl Mayer. And on the other side here, we've got Friedrich Wilhelm Ludwig Wallander. Not sure. But he's got this statue. And there's somebody with a signature next to him. Apple. Appel. I can't read the first name. I know there's that's 1965 to 1970, so that's a child. I don't know why that's signed. But there is the Danish, or the Dutch artist, rather, named Karl Apple. I don't know if there's any connection. Another profile here with Greisinger. And then we've got a little bust here for René Maron, 1964 to 2014. It's a unique kind of stone. I don't think I realized Virchow was in here, or I've forgotten, because I've been here several times in the past. And, you know, when you're just going to see one person, you forget who else is in here, or you overlook them. Easy to do. Some interesting stones out here. Another bust. Ursula Müller-Schussler. Cool bust. Very interesting. This is unique. Some sculpture. Don't see much in the way of names there. Lazarus, Marie, and Rudolf Virchow. Führender mathematicians, mathematical leader. That's a nice stone, very smooth, interesting on the top with the coloration. Not sure how they achieve that. Just looks like paint, but something's going on there. Not very old. 27 years old, too young. But a beautiful stone. Family plot over here. It's kind of gated in. Let's see what this is. It's faded. Kirchstätter. The Kirchstätter family. Kirchstätter. Dr. Theodore Kirchstätter. So some doctor's family. And I think we've just about exhausted this place. I'm just gonna kind of go out back towards the front here so you can get a better look at this church. A lot of doctors in here. I mean, you know, figure if the brothers Grimm are in here and Virchow is in here, that's prestigious in a lot of different ways to have a grave here. Certainly if you're a doctor or any kind of a creative person. Some beauties here. I gotta spin this around again. I'm sorry about that. There's some interesting graves here. Anna Sautner, Joseph Sautner from the 1920s. This one's very grown. Stern. It's quite a monument. I don't know if that's Isaac Stern or just some other guy named Stern. Maybe on the other side it says, because that's really buried in there. There's another signed one. Hard to read. Hallenbach, maybe. 1854 to 1919. On the top looks like Ernst Hallenbach or Kallenbach. And his wife, Gertrude, maybe. Let's just see if we can see anything about Stern on the other side. There's another signed one here. Thomas Cervera. No, there's nothing here about Stern on the other side. It's going to remain a mystery. Irene Knoll. Very interesting stack of stones in there. Really some creative ideas here. Definitely, gets you thinking about your own stone. What would you like? You want that little hole cut in there with a gold leaf inside? I think that's a pretty great idea. One could do some variations on that. That stack of stones is pretty cool. Just a lot of ways to go. So I'm going to take another look at this stern and see if I can get any information, because it is covered in bamboo. So I just don't see anything So I'd have to research that online. If it's not Isaac Stern, I don't know who it is. So there's only so many names to go around. It'll just be anyone named Stern. Get the groundskeepers coming through here. Some beautiful flowers. Let's just see what we can see here about this church on the way out. There's the train in the background. S1. That little guy makes a ton of noise. Can't quite film the church. There seems to be a service going on inside, maybe. I'll give you a little look at it through here. So I'm out here back at Yorkstrasse, the U7 line. A bit windy. Old station building right there. York Brook 5, 2023. This is a one-year-old bridge. Next to this trendy gym called Fit One, which I'm sure a lot of douchebags like to work out there. Now, I'm a little concerned about my ability to cross here. I might be on the wrong side of this whole thing, because it looks like there's another active train line, and I ain't gonna be able to cross. I should have gone up on the other side. I guess I'm gonna go around. Yeah, the train. So I just had to go back down the stairs and cross several rows of active train tracks. Underneath, that is. You can see that trendy gym across the way. There was just no way to cross from that gym past the train tracks without going underneath. And now I'm at the bottom corner of Gleisdreieck Park, which is old rail line that's been reclaimed by nature, by humans, and turned into a park. So Gleisdreieck means three corners, and it is shaped like a triangle, and we're at the southern end of that. And they've got nice gravel paths here, as you can see, and benches and all that kind of stuff. And if you look to the left, there's another bike path section that goes over old train bridge. So some of the train lines are still active, others are converted. And if we look here in the forest, we'll see more train tracks that are just being reclaimed by nature. So this area, of course, was heavily bombed in the war. Okay, just to show you here, all the train tracks in the woods. So getting more overgrown all the time. And people traipse around in there. It's just part of the park. It's a beautiful park. It's got so much going for it. It's got great fields. It's got outdoor workout areas. It has active trains going through it. It's got restaurants and a kind of a sports bar. So they're telling you here, it looks like, stay. People do traipse around here, but it's saying stay out. Let it get reclaimed. So the thing that's interesting about this area is that it is all just the main train line for the Anhalter Bahnhof area, which was the major central station in Berlin before the war. Or one of them. I mean, you always have Hauptbahnhof is always the central station. But Anhalter was major and had lots of train lines going in and out. And they bombed the shit out of it. And all that's left is a little facade. And there's still an underground stop there. It's very hard to destroy a city, essentially. And undergrounds, of course, get preserved. Here we go, some active train action. 2 of them. And there's even a map up here. That's an ice train. That's an intercity express. So those are the fast ones. You have to pay a little bit of money to use those. But if you want to go from Berlin to Hamburg or Nuremberg, Frankfurt, you want to take ice train. You don't want to take a regional train that's going to take you forever. But they're not cheap, you know. A round trip to Hamburg's at least $100, depending when and all that. But here's the park. I'm on the sort of active bike path here. But just so you can see the general shape of the place now. So we're in the very southern corner. And I'm going to head north. And yeah, we'll take another picture up there. But just suffice to say for now that most of the rail lines are gone. There's just a couple. And where the Anhalter Bahnhof area used to be is now a technology museum, and the Tempodrome, which is like a concert hall. So there's a vast area that's been converted into different things. But the main feature now, of course, is this park. I'm going to check it out again at the top. So I'm kind of up here in the center of the park now, and you can see how all the trains move through here. This is actually the U-Bahn, even though it's above ground. That's like the U2 up there. And this is the Gleisdreieck Park, or Gleisdreieck stop. There's a cool shack over here to the right with food and drink. Some train seems to be parked up there. And there's also apartments all along the edge of this park. It's really cool. And we can walk under here. Sorry for the wind.
Whoa, hey, come on.
So here's where it opens up in the northern portion of this park. Nice green field for hanging out, and whoever lives around here's got a pretty nice view. All new buildings, of course. Trains buzzing around you all the time. It's great. It's just a great park to hang out in, walk through. There's more kind of brew pubs on the right here, made out of containers. Sort of walk by that here next, you see this place on the right made out of containers. So a beautiful day like today, BRLO Brew House. Nice day to hang out at a spot like this. So it doesn't look like it's open yet. Thursday, Monday closed. Thursday, Friday from 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday from 4 p.m. So it's only about 2 o'clock now, I think, if that. But as you can imagine, it's quite popular. Being next to the train station as it is. And just being a nice hangout spot where you can carry on to the park after that. It's a little expensive for my taste. You can find beer gardens with more reasonable prices in just as beautiful, if not more so, locations.
I'm gonna buy us some strawberries.
And here we are underneath the train tracks, headed to the station. So I think I'm gonna hop on because I've had enough walking today. Hope you enjoyed all that. It's quite a space here, quite a location, a lot going on.